What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dennis Nderitu, live at Nderitu Basketball HQ. Yeah, man, I'm excited. This is the first time that I'm coming up live. I've been doing these shows, mostly audio, but I'm gonna take this new setup and just be showing you a little bit of my face a bit, and so you can gain a real insight on how I feel in my facial expression. So yesterday I did a live and I talked about the other series, the Bucks and Net series. I talked about the way the Phoenix Suns just brutalized the you know, they went to the Western Conference Finals, they brutalized the Denver Nuggets in 4 games, and not to mention, this was highly unexpected because I actually never saw this coming at all. And yeah, and I also had a big question mark on the Jazz versus Clippers game because I didn't know like if the if the Clippers could do it. This is a team that went life or death with the Dallas Mavericks, and winning a game for them would have proven a bit challenging because I don't know how they will be able to overcome any adversity that the Jazz put them through. But I feel like the way Donovan Mitchell had that slight injury, and it took him out a bit, and that's what I think set him back a bit. It sent the Jazz to the deep end, and yeah, man. Yo, shout out Victor. Yo, man, I sent you the. I sent you. Let me put the link live here so you can join in as well. And guys, man, come in. Make sure you click the link. I'll let you in on the chat, and we can chop it up a bit. So yeah, shout out Victor. He's on the chat, and yeah, man. The Jazz and Clippers series. Okay, it's not tied up 2-2. So I expect the Jazz to respond or the Clippers. I don't know at this point, but some way I feel the Clippers are gonna finish the Jazz off in 6 games. And yeah, man, I don't see the Jazz putting up a great fight. I feel Donovan Mitchell with his slight injury. I feel that sent the Jazz backcourt on to a span on the works on their title aspirations. But we never know. Maybe they can pull it off. But the way the Clippers were slandered last season for not making the conference finals, let alone the NBA finals and winning it all, it was just sending them all to the deep end. So I feel they have no chance. They have to make the finals, and if it's beating the Jazz and also beating the Phoenix Suns that's gonna take it, then so be it. They have to do that. And also we had the Philadelphia 76ers, but versus the Atlanta Hawks. My predictions were pretty wrong, and I actually never thought that. I actually never thought that the Hawks would be able to tap the series. I actually thought that they were gonna be over, but hey, man, Trey Young, Trey Way proved me wrong, and I take it on the chin and just give him some credit because the way that kid has been playing, man. That's on another different level, man. Let me just go down the match. Let me just run down the matchup summary real quick. So Trey Young led the Hawks with 25 points, but also produced a career high 18 points, while John Collins, 14 points, 12 rebounds, missed a double double, and Clint Capella, 12 points and 13 rebounds, ended with double doubles. It was pretty good. Bogdan Bogdanovic produced a strong scoring performance after finishing with 22 points, and Kevin Harter contributed 10 points. No other Atlanta player scored in double digits. It was a it was do or die game for them. So whenever you just see the guy getting the ball, if you just see this guy hard, just make sure you give him the ball because we needed that. They needed that win. So the Atlanta Hawks, man, they just came out. Joel Embiid had a strong game for the Sixers and finished 17 points and 21 boards, but he also added 4 assists. So out of the gate, you can see Joel Embiid just came out pretty well, especially dominating in the paint. And Yeah, man. I feel Joel Embiid needs to play like this. That the Sixers can have a chance to stay back in the game, but play with his stats, but as well just win. So that's the thing, man. Oh, Victor, I see you on the chat. I put the link up. Just make sure to click on the link so you can come on in on the stream out. So yeah, man, just click on the link. I've sent it here. Make sure you just join in. I'll just let you in the conversation. And also Ben Simmons sniffed a triple double and after posting 11 points and 12 rebounds and 9 assists. I mean, he was 1 assist shy from a triple double, so we expect him to do that. To do that, so yeah, I mean, and while Tobias Harris ended as Philadelphia's top scorer thanks to his 20 points and 5 boards. I mean, Tobias Harris, we need him to. I mean, the Sixers need him to, be that scoring machine that he is. The way he was a scoring machine for the Clippers in 2019 before he got traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in the trade deadline in 2019. So that's this is the Tobias Harris they need that they can win. So Seth Curry also added 17 points, and Fakan Kokmaz had 10 points in a sports start. So I mean, these guys were pretty good. No other Philadelphia 76er player reached double digit points. So this is a tight knit game, and the Hawks just needed to do what they had to do to be able to win this game. So I mean, it's just tight knit game for them. So yeah, kudos to Trey Young. I mean, Trey Young, 25 points, 18 assists. I mean, that this guy, man, the second coming of Steph Curry. You're actually seeing him unfold right before our eyes, especially in his first playoff appearance. This guy's he's not taking the learning process as a joke. He just wants to go all in, and if if this I don't know if they're able to upset the Sixers, I mean the process will be just folded and floored at this point. So yeah, I mean trust the process. I mean these guys better like win take control of this series. I mean I expect this series to be a dogfight between the Hawks and the Sixers. Should go at least 7 games based on the way these both teams are performing. So yeah, I feel the Hawks match up better with the Sixers pretty well, especially when you throw Clint Capella on Joel Embiid. Yeah, Clint Capella is able to guard Embiid pretty well. So yeah, I feel this is pretty good, pretty good. And also you got guys like John Collins. I mean Bogdanovich. I mean these guys pretty match up pretty well with Sixers, and I feel like this series is gonna go up to 7 games. And yeah, I really like the Hawks, but I'm giving the Sixers an edge for this because an edge on this because I feel like the Sixers have the experience to pull this off. They've been here twice. They've been here in 2018 in the West in the sorry in the East semis when they faced off with Boston, and yeah, they lost in 5. And also the Sixers were here in 2019 in the East semis when the Raptors they took the Raptors to 7 games. The Kawhi Leonard Raptors that went in and won the title, all in and won the title. So I feel the Hawks are not a big problem for them. So they're gonna be able to, you know, get back and beat the Hawks. So, but it's gonna be a dogfight. I feel it's gonna be sixes and seven. Okay, so another game that happened that was too tough for me to call. I mean, I didn't know. Okay, I believe in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as stars, but considering their playoff outings and they when they joined the Clippers, I mean, it was pretty tough to call for me. But Kawhi Leonard proved me wrong once again. Okay, I didn't see them winning this game. I thought that them Jazz were gonna go up at least 3-1 in the series, but hey, they proved me wrong and they came in and they dominated. So the Clippers, okay, I'm a Lakers fan, but also hey, we're in the same area code. I just gotta look at the Clippers as well because I mean my Lakers are now not in the playoffs anymore, courtesy of the Chris Paul Devin Booker Suns, but not salty. I'll just cover the Clippers because I feel they are the team that has the most pressure in the West to win the West and win it all. So they have to win. Now, if it means beating the Jazz and beating the Phoenix Suns to make the finals, they have to do that. I mean, there's no other way. So let me just go through up their matchup summary real quick. So the Clippers red hot start on both ends of the floor led a 24-point halftime advantage. The Jazz 10 points second half edge was nowhere near to overcome the steep deficit. So I mean the Jazz, I mean they were just getting slapped all the way from the first quarter. So yeah, despite the lopsided score, each team shot 40% from distance. Donovan Mitchell's 37 points, which he partly complemented with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. So Donovan Mitchell, I mean, he just became that guy, that go-to guy that they needed to, get them buckets real quick. So they led the Jazz in scoring 37 points. Donovan Mitchell, Spider Mitchell, he threw his webs, and apparently they were not enough to win this game. But hey, you never know what can happen. Okay, so Joe Ingles' stat line include 19 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists. So Joe Ingles, he's that guy who can knock down that three, and they need him to knock down more threes for them. So yeah, he was on the board, 19 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic delivered 18 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. Rudy Gobert's contribution included 11 points and 8 rebounds. I mean, Rudy Gobert, man, he needs to show up his defensive presence, especially in this Clippers series, because he's a reigning defensive player of the year, actually 3-time defensive player of the year. He has to protect the paint and be able to, like, protect it, make sure that nobody can get in easy. No easy points are allowed. So that's the thing, man. They need to do that. So you got Royce O'Neal and Jordan Clarkson mastered matching 8-point tallies while recording 8 and 5 rebounds respectively. So yeah, man, six man of the year, Jordan Clarkson came off the bench and he just did what he had to do, but apparently it wasn't enough to beat the Clippers. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George led the Clippers with matching 31 points, 4 assists contributions, while totaling 7 and 9 rebounds respectively. Marcus Morris included 24 points and 6 rebounds. So out the gate, you can see Kawhi Leonard. He just activated his playoff mode, playoff Kawhi. I don't know. People don't mostly mention playoff Kawhi, but yeah, man. I mean, Kawhi Leonard is that guy, man. I don't know what happened last year's postseason, and the Jazz just outlasted the Clippers. I feel Kawhi Leonard experienced last year's playoff performance of Kawhi Leonard in the second round with the Dallas Mavericks is what LeBron James experienced with the Dallas Mavericks in the 2011 NBA Finals. I don't think I don't think Kawhi Leonard is gonna let such a thing happen to him, especially again. So he had that funk in that series with the Denver Nuggets, and I don't think he's gonna get in that funk again with the Utah Jazz. So I feel this is Clippers in 6, and yeah, Clippers are gonna finish off the Jazz, and I take the Clippers right now because the Jazz, I just have a huge question mark on those guys. Although it was very hard for me to call that series, but considering the way I just saw Paul George and Kawhi Leonard just play, that's the reason why I'm picking the Clippers at this point. So yeah, I'm picking the Clippers in 6, and Sixers in 7. Okay, the Phoenix Suns already made it past Denver, so we got the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. That's the game that's gonna be played tomorrow morning in my time. It's gonna be quite early. Let me check the time real quick. It's gonna be 3:30 a.m. where I am. So yeah, I feel like this game, the Bucks are gonna win this game. So you got Kyrie is gonna be out for Game 5, and James Harden is still out. So the Brooklyn Nets franchise are not gonna rush James Harden too quickly because we don't want to, aggravate that injury that he got. So the Brooklyn Nets cannot risk doing that because if they do that, it's gonna it's gonna make them defenseless, especially, and it's gonna make them have such as like a Golden State Warriors series. The same experience that Golden State had in 2019. The Nets don't want to do that, so I feel like the Nets. Or let me be specific. I feel like this is the time where carrying a team and being a playmaking scorer is gonna be called upon from Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a four-time scoring champion, two-time two-time NBA Finals MVP, two-time champion. He's a rookie of the year. He was a rookie of the year in 2008, and yeah, he won his MVP in 2014. But it's gonna be more that's gonna be required for Kevin Durant because he's gonna be the lone star to lead a team of this magnitude in the Brooklyn Nets to the finals because it's going to be a tall ask because they're going to ask KD to be a scorer, playmaker, and facilitate the offense, which is going to be a tough ask for him because I've always known KD as the best player, especially in the scoring department, but playmaking and getting your teammates involved, that's LeBron James. And I'm going on record to say Kawhi Leonard is not LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, okay, let me just say this, right? As much as we love KD, he's not going to be a LeBron James in terms of carrying a team and elevating his players despite them not being at the level that he is. We do not appreciate the fact that LeBron James led garbage teams in 2007 and 2018. No shade to those players, but those were garbage teams, and he was the lone star in that team in most cases, especially in the 2018 run where the odds was pretty stacked against the Cavs, and you know they made the finals, although they got swept in the finals, but they made the finals. I mean, that's what's going to be expected for KD. It's not going to be for me. KD making it to the finals with this Nets team would be a very tough ask, especially considering the fact that his sidekicks, his partners in crime, and Curry and Harden are out due to injury. So I don't think the Nets will have enough firepower to offset the Bucks in Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and that squad around them. So it's gonna be a tough ask for KD because KD is gonna be on Giannis. Let me just assume that. So who's gonna pick up Drew Holiday? Who's gonna pick up Chris Middleton? Who's gonna pick up Brook Lopez? So that's gonna be the question that is going to be asked in the next locker room because if they don't accept the fact that KD needs to lead this team the way LeBron led his teams to the finals before joining the Lakers, yeah, this is the question that they need to ask. So this is my sentiment on it because I assume you're here. So I'm gonna give you my raw and unfiltered thoughts on this because I feel like if we don't talk about this, no one will because Katie is gonna be required to carry a team to lead a team which is a depleted roster because it doesn't have Harden or Kyrie to the finals. I mean, look at this. Look at the stars. Look at the star. Let me just use LeBron James because he fits the description pretty well. Despite the fact that LeBron lost and Kevin Love in the 2015 NBA playoffs, right in the first round, his shoulders popped out, so he was left without a third star. So he had Katie and Katie. No, he had Kyrie and himself. He was able to make it past the East and make it to the finals, right? Although they lost to the Warriors in 6 games, hey, let's just make it. He made to the finals, right? And I'm not a LeBron stan. Let me just say, KD is gonna be required to get to the finals without his stars, and this is gonna be the ultimate test to validate his rings with the Warriors. As much as I do not like having this conversation about whose wings weigh more or his rings are insignificant with the Warriors, he is a champion. That's a fact. All by the books, he is a champion. But when it comes to leading a team to the finals as the lone star, he couldn't do that in OKC, although OKC he had Russell Westbrook. But we all know this type of superstar KD is. As much as I do not like having this conversation, especially questioning KD's credibility and legacy, because I already said I'm not going to question him. He is already a two-time champion, two times Finals MVP. He thrived very well in Golden State. He had Steph Curry. He had Clay Thompson. He had Draymond Green by his side. So the scoring load was pretty. His scoring was pretty efficient around that roster. But now the ultimate test will be, will he be able to lead this Nets team to the finals without his co stars in Harden and Kyrie? That's the question that it's going to be asked a lot. As much as we try to keep avoiding this conversation, that is the question that's going to be asked. And I feel KD is going to fall short to the Bucks because the way the Bucks system is set up, and if Giannis keeps on being aggressive towards and attacking the rim, and nobody in the Nets can match his aggressiveness, his competitiveness, he's gonna wear down the Nets too quickly. And you know when that happens, Bucks in six, real quick. So KD, as much as he's a prolific scorer, he's gonna be tested in how he's gonna carry that team, that Nets team, that depleted roster without his two stars to the finals. Not even winning the finals, just carrying them to the finals. That's gonna be that question that it's gonna be asked, and that's all I have to say, man. I feel like KD needs to have this test because if he's able to win a championship with this depleted roster, that is if his superstar status changes and he's gonna be in the same mentioned in the same breath with LeBron James. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna put Michael Jordan there. I'm not gonna do that because LeBron James, the media, the narrative that has been spin is LeBron James gonna be able to surpass Jordan? There's never been a question. Is the question has never been, will KD be able to surpass Jordan? There's a reason why Michael Jordan and LeBron James are always put side by side. And sorry to say, I'm not gonna put KD and Jordan side by side. I'm gonna put KD and LeBron side by side because I feel like, in a sense, KD is chasing LeBron's ghost. Even if he doesn't know it, he knows it. He wouldn't admit this, but he knows it. And I feel the same way towards. I just feel that way, and I'm not sure if the media is gonna cover that, but I'm gonna mention it on record right here on this stream. I'm just gonna say that KD is going to be expected to lead a team to the finals the same way LeBron did with the Cavs in the East, and that's what I have to say because that's the thing, man. I mean, if KD will fail to lead this Nets team past the Bucks, or maybe past the Sixers or or the Hawks, but I feel it's gonna be the Sixers. The narrative that the NBA media are gonna spin is gonna be this, right? This is a man who will not be, he cannot lead a team. That's the thing. The general consensus will be like he went to Golden State because he knew he would get an easy path to a ring, which I really thoroughly disagree in terms of KD's proficiency and his being in him being a prolific scorer, right? But the thing is, the way the media, NBA media and mainstream media works is they're gonna put this spin job that KD, if he doesn't make it to the finals and win the finals, it invalidates his ring with the Warriors. That is something that is not true. And KD's test of greatness will be leading this Nets team to the finals. That is if there's no if there's it's gonna be like, I really wanted the Lakers to go back to back, but the Sixers didn't share the same sentiment. They beat the Lakers in 6 games. I mean, as much as people keep on saying LeBron's legacy is tainted, I mean, at this point, LeBron James' legacy has already been cemented. He is a 4-time champion, 4-time Finals MVP holder, 4-time NBA League MVP. He has done everything that needed to be done in the NBA, and he has accomplished every milestone that the league has put in front of him. And he has nothing left to prove. But when it comes to KD, considering the fact that he left the OKC Thunder the way he left, and we got people coming in and saying that KD he went to the Warriors to get the to for the easy way out, and people kept moving goalposts and putting a spin job on what he did in the Golden State Warriors, which I say I'm never gonna throw shade at what he did in Golden State. He did what he had to do. He led that Golden State team to back to back finals appearances, back to back championships. Although the injury that he got in the Houston Rockets versus Warriors games in the West semis, I mean that was an injury, right? People never expected him to, with no, like come back real quickly because we didn't know the state of his injury. But this time, the expectation will be leaning next teams to the finals. So if he doesn't, I'm never gonna hold it against KD because KD's season with the Nets has been very pretty rocky because he was riddled injuries, and these injuries really set him back a bit, and he wasn't able to bounce back from them. And it was a really huge blow to him because had he recovered from that ACL injury, no that ACL Achilles injury in his leg, and he had the ability to play all the games that were put in front of him to the Nets with no injuries, and he also played in the All Star game. I feel there will be a possibility that he will be able to, carry that team to the finals. But now that's not the case because, KD is human and he's coming off an Achilles injury, a potentially career ending injury. So I'm not giving it as an excuse, but it's gonna come out as one, but I'm not gonna use it as an excuse. If KD falls to the Bucks, there shouldn't be no spin job that this guy is not great or his rings are invalidated. That is not gonna fly because this man, as much as he's hated, okay, at some point I really didn't like him, but we have to appreciate his greatness while it's there and not to throw shade at it. And although I picked the Bucks, but I don't know about the Nets, man. Bucks in 6 or 7. So if you guys like the stream, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comment section down below. I'll be doing more streams where you can see me. Although I'll be switching it up a bit, but hey, I'll just be making sure that I interact with you guys and give my honest and unbiased opinions on matters NBA basketball and playoffs. So that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.